everybody. Today we are going to continue practicing our comprehension skills. Remember, that is remembering what you have read, answering questions, looking back in the passage if you need to. So today we're going to look at another passage and answer some questions about it. So remember, comprehension. That is understanding the story that you read. And looking back, if you can't remember or you're not sure you understand quite what the story was about, so today we're going to practice that. So today we're going to look at a nonfiction story, a nonfiction passage, and then we're going to answer a few questions about it. So I like this one because it is broken up into the paragraphs, and the paragraphs are numbered for you. So let's read the title to get our brain ready. It says, what are Kratts? I'm not sure what that word is. Okay, remember, if you get stuck on a word, don't let it stop you. You can continue to read, and then maybe it will come to you. But so get your mouth ready. Creatures. Oh, what are Kratts? Creatures. So let's look at paragraph number 1. Please listen as I read it. Martin and Chris Kratt are brothers. They go many different places together. They find out about animals. Then the Kratts write books about the animals for children. They even do TV shows about animals. So you might have made a connection when I read that. You might have seen their television show, or maybe you have read one of their books. But remember, as you're reading, visualize and think about what the author is telling you. So that first paragraph just kind of introduced the Kratt brothers. Let's go to paragraph number 2. In their books, the Kratts call animals creatures. The books have funny pictures and stories. In one picture, Martin and Chris have blue hair. They look like big birds. Let's go to paragraph 3. But the books are about real animals. Martin and Chris love all animals. They want to save them too. And the Kratts want kids to love animals in the same way. So I visualized some brothers traveling around, watching animals, observing animals, writing about them. And I do remember seeing a show that they were on. Let's go and answer some questions about this passage. And remember, our job is to go back into the passage to find the answer or to prove we are right with the evidence that is stated in the passage. So the first one says, Martin and Chris are blank. Look at our choices. Are they cousins, doctors, or brothers? And I know you right away said brothers. So I'm going to circle that as our answer, but I want to go back up and highlight it or underline it in the text. And it's right here, the very first sentence that introduces the brothers. So when I highlight it or underline it, that is proving my answer is correct. I am showing the evidence right up there. That's where I found the answer. Let's go to number 2. This story tells about blank. Birds with blue hair. They'd mentioned something about that, but I don't think that's what this story is really telling me. Saving animals. They mentioned that also. Men who write books about animals. Well, I can get rid of this answer choice. That one just doesn't make sense. I'm going to cross it out. Now I only have to think about these 2 choices because they both were mentioned in our passage up here. But was this mostly about saving animals? Did they give us a lot of information about saving animals, or did they give us lots more information about the men who write books about animals? I hope you said men who write books about animals. If I go up here, and I want to prove that I am right, if I want to find that evidence, it says right here, the Kratts write books about animals. And once again, it says in their books. Look at all of the times that I see information about books. So I know that is what that story was telling us, all about the books they wrote. Let's go to the next question. In the second part of the story, what does the word creatures mean? Now, remember, that was a tough word. We weren't sure what that word said at the very top because it was in the title. There it is. But they underlined it in paragraph 2. So that means it was an important word. So let's reread this. In their books, the Kratts call animals creatures. So I'm going to underline that. They call animals creatures. So let's see if animals is a choice. So in the second part of the story, what does the word creatures mean? Animals, monsters, or pictures? Well, I know it's not pictures. And sometimes we can say creatures could be monsters, but in this passage, it's animals. And the last one, Martin and Chris visit many places to blank. So why do you think they visit many places? To find animals to write about, to watch TV shows, or to laugh at the animals? Well, I know I can get rid of this. They're not traveling to watch. And I'm sure sometimes the animals might give them a little giggle and they might be kind of silly. But they are not laughing at the animals. That's not why they go to visit. So I know that they travel to find animals to write about. And up here, if I go back to find the evidence, it's in that first passage, that first paragraph. They go to many different places. They find out about animals. So I just answered some questions, and now I have a better understanding of this passage, of this story about the Kratts brothers. But the last thing I'd like to do with you again today is just quickly ask you, what was the author's purpose for this passage about the Kratts brothers? Do you remember the pie? So did the author write about the Kratts brothers to persuade the reader, to inform the reader, or to entertain the reader? I hope you said inform the reader. We had true facts, true information about the Kratts brothers. Even though it was a good story, the author wanted to give us information. So happy reading this week. Remember, read carefully and think about what the story or the passage is saying.